Hi everyone, this is Marissa from Youth Services, and I'm going to show you how to make a paper crane. We are making paper cranes for our 1,000 Paper Cranes program. We are going to be sending our 1,000 paper cranes to Hiroshima, to the Children's Peace Memorial, and they're going to be displayed there. So we hope that you will join us in adding a crane to our collection. You can make paper cranes out of any paper that is really thin enough to fold evenly. So we have small ones here, we have big ones, and today we're going to show you the different types of paper and how to make one. So right here I have double-sided paper. This is a pattern one that has two patterns on it, and this one's just plain. Most origami paper you work with, though, will be one-sided, like these, and that's what we're going to work with today. It helps with just knowing where you are. So I'm going to be working with this red one here. Now, when you start your paper crane, you want the color side or the pattern side to be facing up. If you start this way, the crane will turn out white. So that's important. Now, I'm going to start with the diagonal fold, like this. And you want to match up your corners as evenly as possible, of course. And if you press your fold out from the center, it helps you keep a little more control, and your edges will stay together. So you're going to open the crane, or the paper, back up. And in origami, you usually do two folds that are exactly the same, just like a mirror fold. So we're going to do another diagonal fold here. Okay, now we're going to open it back up. So I've got my two diagonal folds here. Now I'm going to flip the whole square over, and I'm going to fold this in half now. And I'll open it right back up. And since we folded it that way, we'll do its mirror and fold it this way. Trying to get my edges really crisp here. It can be a little tricky. Okay, so this next step is, it seems like it's tricky, but I have a really easy way for you to remember it. You've still got it folded in half like this, right? Like a rectangle. So you'll lift the paper up and you'll pinch it at these corners here, and then you just press together like that. And then you lay it on the table and flatten it, and now it's a square. So you'll have two of these flaps on each side. So one's here against the table, and then there's this one. So what's very important at this point is to make sure you know which end you're working with. This right here is the closed end, and I can show you here, that's going to be the crane's back. So you want to work with this open end that's right across the way. You'll see all these layers here. That's where you want to fold from. And I want to point out this right here. Do you see this center crease? We're going to be using this to kind of line our next folds up with. So you're taking one layer here, and you're going to fold this in half in a triangle, and we're using the center here as our guide. Okay, and these edges right here, they're going to turn out to be the tail and the head of your crane. So you really want them to be as crisp as possible when you fold. So we're going to mirror it on this side. And you'll notice that when I folded these two triangles don't quite meet each other. We want a little bit of space between them. It helps with your following steps. So we are going to flip the entire thing over. We're going to do the exact same thing. And this time, when we're folding, we also, not only do we want it to kind of meet this center one, we want it to line up fairly evenly with this other one down here. Okay, so I'm going to do the mirror one. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to open everything back up so we have our same square that we did before. And remember, this is your closed edge here, and your open edge is down here. So what we're doing right now is we're creating folds that are going to help us move the paper kind of like inside out into a new shape. So do you see these folds right here? There's one there and there's one on the opposite side in the same place. We want this fold to flex in either direction, for both layers to flex in either direction. So I'm just kind of going back and forth here. I'm going to do the same with this one here. Folding both the layers this way, now folding them both this way. And that's just to make them nice and flexible. So now I'm going to actually fold these in just to show you what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make the whole paper into a rectangle. So I'm going to, this is my closed edge here, I'm going to fold this down to make a triangle. And I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take that little triangle back down like this. And now it can flex in both directions. So I've got my square again, nice and flat. Now I'm going to maneuver the paper into its inside out kind of position. And it's going to look a lot more difficult than it really is. So I'm going to put my fingers right here, the first layer. And do you see my lines right here, the folds I've already made? I've got them right here too. I'm just turning them inside out. So I'm flattening this and pressing along those folds I already made, pressing the paper down. You shouldn't have to force this. You've already made your folds and the paper should just move into that position. I know it's a little tricky, but I'm going to show you again on the other side. Flip the whole thing over. There's my folds there. I'm going to lift it up with my thumbs here and just press the paper into its position. And there we go. So make sure everything's nice and flat. Okay, believe it or not, we're actually really close to being done. I'm just going to show you kind of which part is what right now. If I show you this is the wings and the back already. So now we are going to make this area into the neck and the head. So just to show you, these are I call them legs just for now. I'm going to fold one of these layers into a triangle, kind of similarly to what we did before. So I'm going to use this as my guide. And I'm keeping this nice and crisp down here. I'm going to mirror it on this side. Okay, now I'm going to flip the whole thing over, do the same thing. Just making these triangles into a thinner version of themselves, really. And I'm making sure my creases are nice and sharp. Doing the mirror one right here. Okay, so now we can bring out our wings. So this is my wing right here. I'm going to fold it down as far as it'll let me. If I don't fold it far enough down, if I hold it like this, the back won't really show. So we want it to go down as far as the paper will let you. And flatten that. So go ahead and flip it over. I'm going to do the mirror one over here. And press the other wing down, nice and sharp. Okay. And now, I'll show you what we have. We already have kind of the final wings and back. So now I need to bring my tail and my head up here. So I'm going to go right between the wings right here. And do you see this crease I have right here? All I'm going to do is use my thumbs to push this up like this, and then I'm going to fold it in half on itself like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. This is kind of a very tricky step for people, but you already have the crease right here, so you're just pushing the paper back up and then folding it in half. So now I have something that's very close to the final product. One of these is usually better than the other. One usually has like a crisper edge. You want to pick the one that's kind of not as successful or a little uglier, and just press down here like that. And that's the head of the crane. And you're pretty much done. You can kind of just mess around with it, get it to be more in the position you'd like. So I did this so I can show you a common problem here. Do you see how this is kind of folding in on itself? The problem lies with folding this in an imprecise way. So, so when I bring it back up, it kind of doesn't want to fold in on itself. So the way to avoid that, and I kind of did it on this one too, the way to avoid that would be to be more precise about your edges, or, this is a nice quick fix, you can make the less successful one into the head just by pressing down like this and leaving the prettier one up. So you're kind of able to hide the imperfections of your I want to tell you about kind of variations on this. This is one that Jose did, and as you can see, and this orange one is one I did, they're a little bit different from each other. His tail is pressed back a little bit, and so is his head. You can really do whatever you like. And some even have like this sort of pressed back. Really do which one you like. So this is my final crane. If you would like to make a crane and bring it into the library, we will put it in our collection, and it will be sent to Hiroshima along with the rest of the 1,000 paper cranes. So we hope you can join us, and thank you.